All right, so I am here interviewing Mr. Jose Hobson, better known as Zay.
Right.
So why Zay? Where's Zay come from?
Just out of my regular learning, just people growing up, people just calling me Zay, like for short, just yelling instead of calling me Jose.
Right.
All of my friends, they really made it up. Like my family got different nicknames for me.
Okay.
Just different stuff.
So what part of town did you grow up in?
I just grew up in McKeesport, like what I'm saying. And as far as what part of McKeesport, I grew up on Market Street, like down by Harrison Village. My family, most of my family, my mom's side, are from there, and we lived in Market Street. We lived in an apartment on Market Street until I was about 6 years old. There was 10 of us, 2 bedrooms.
Right.
A lot of us, you know what I mean?
Right.
Most of my uncles and my aunts, and my grandma lived there, my mom, one of my aunts, 2 of my uncles, 4 of my uncles, and then my aunt's kids and my mom's kids. So then, from there I moved to Highview Gardens and to Bailey. Lived up there, and then from probably say age 9 on, I lived with my grandmother. That's basically who raised me from age 9 until 18 years old. So I basically lived almost everywhere in McKeesport.
Cool.
So yeah.
So how was your childhood growing up in McKeesport?
My childhood growing up in McKeesport, it was probably like everybody else's in McKeesport. Just it was a lot of stuff was scarce. As far as information, it was scarce, but it was fun because it was way more. It was safe. It was, even though there was a lot of stuff going on, we didn't know about it, so we just had fun. My childhood was more experience. It was a good experience in my eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was a good experience.
Right. Good. So what year did you graduate?
I graduated in 2009, about going on 6 years ago.
2009. So that makes you how old?
I'm 23.
23. Wow.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So when you were growing up in McKeesport, and you said that how you had a lot of people in your family living in a 2-bedroom house, whatever, a lot of kids around. How did you interact with the different kids in the neighborhood? Were there any times where there was bad things going on, or did you find yourself getting in any type of trouble, or were you pretty good? Were you?
My family, there were so many kids. Like
right.
I said, it was my mom. She had a son, another son, who's my brother, and then my aunt had a son and a daughter, and then both of my uncles had their own kids, about 2 or 3 each. So basically, everybody who I interacted with was my family.
Right.
So from right there, they were athletes. All of them, they all played sports.
Okay.
Even though I wasn't really into sports, they molded me to get into sports. So,
okay.
And they made music on tape recorders. They would pop a tape in and just record it. So I was always busy, even though I was young. Where I would go to the Boys and Girls Club.
Okay.
So I really didn't get into too much other stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
So at a young age.
Right.
So yeah.
So how about high school?
High school, I say junior high school is whenever I started to meet people who really wanted to figure out who they were.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, and what they wanted to do in life more than anything, because you wanted to figure out what group you were going to fit into before you went to high school.
Okay.
So high school, I was into sports.
Okay.
So that's what I was. Everything that didn't have to do with being healthy and everything. I didn't want anything to do with drinking and smoking. I never did. I never even thought about doing that type of stuff in high school.
Good.
Yeah, honestly, so I really didn't interact with anyone. I knew I had access to everything and that anybody could possibly do something bad with, but I never really got into that because I was just afraid of the consequences with my coach.
Right. So no peer pressure.
No.
And sports kind of kept you out of that
Yeah.
negative side.
Right.
Okay, cool.
Right. Yeah.
So Legacy Ave, when did you decide to do Legacy Avenue?
I made music coming out of high school. I say my senior year. I started when I went to college out for football, and then I would leave. One of my cousins was in the NFL, and he called me all the time whenever I was in college. He's like, come out here he played for the Kansas City Chiefs. Come out here to Missouri, tell the teacher, tell your professor you had a family emergency.
Right.
I'm like, I can't do that. I got class.
Right.
So he's like, just tell him it's an emergency. So I would leave school for 2 weeks at a time and miss all my work. So I was making music with him out there, and then I ended up coming back to Pittsburgh for a couple months, and I moved to Atlanta. And from there I was like, you know, just making so much music, I felt like I could just do anything. I could do this all on my own, however I want to do it.
Right.
But then my family, like my grandmother, she got sick like before I moved to Atlanta, so I came back to Pittsburgh, and so I was just, you know, like trying to stick around here just to make sure everything was okay. So like in terms of when that happened, I started to get like a infection inside of my vocal cords. I was making music, so I stopped making music. And that's when I started to think of something else I wanted to do, you know, like based on what I knew with the entertainment realm,
right.
the entertainment world. So I said, you know, I want to make clothing, you know, just as far as reaching out to people, putting on other people, with the connections and the network I already had.
Right.
I said, I can do clothing also.
Right.
So I got this surgery, and even though my vocal cords are back to normal, I can make music. You know, I just felt like, even like with meeting like John, different people who I know like would be hungry to like, you know, just make some noise in Pittsburgh.
Right.
I was like, I want to do something big still, even though I can't make music.
Right.
I want to do something big. So
right.
Legacy Ave came into fruition, you know, and it's not even came to full fruition yet. But just the idea of it became, rather than just the idea, it became like something like, you know what I'm saying, you can grasp onto. So that's really, you know.
So let me back up a little bit. So after you graduated from high school, you got a scholarship to school, or you just decided to go to college?
No, actually, I was playing Division III football, so they don't give athletic scholarships, but they made it so, because I am a minority, they made it so I got so much money to go, so I didn't pay like what people normally pay. Like it was $40,000 a year at school,
right?
But I paid about like three grand a semester.
All right. What school was that?
It was called Marietta College in Ohio.
Okay.
It was like a prestigious, like a liberal school.
Okay.
But it wasn't for me. You know, when you're not comfortable somewhere, I didn't fight it, but like I said, I would leave school so much that they would be mad at me. They're like, "Why'd you leave?" I'm like, I just left. You know, I quit football because they were like okay with losing. They were like, I'm not okay with losing. I'm from McKeesport. I'm like, I don't like to lose.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
your feeling is like maybe college is not for everybody.
I mean,
you felt the calling to do something a little different because of your connection. Kind
of, but in a sense, with college, I wouldn't say that it's not for everybody, because the stuff that you could take from school, like the knowledge,
right.
because it's not taught to everybody. That's why they preach it to go, but it's in a sense of, I wouldn't say college is something to bank on. You know,
right.
a lot of people go to college and they're like, I'm gonna go to college, and as soon as I graduate, I'm gonna find a job,
right.
or I'm gonna use this to you know, further everything in my life. But really, you gotta, when you're in college, you gotta do internships. You gotta use your network connections right there,
right.
rather than wait until after your 4 years are up. Because there's so many people. Some people were in college that I knew, and they started their businesses in college and they stopped going. You know, and I'm like,
wow.
So I feel like more of it being a launching pad to go to another career.
Right.
I think that it's more of a network builder. You know what I mean, that's why I feel like it's important to go to college for everybody. I think everybody needs to go to college.
Get
even
that foundation.
Yeah, even if it ain't for the, you know, the network or the education, let it be for one or the other, you know.
Right.
Because it's important. Because you won't meet as many people coming from, you know, where your city. No matter where you're at, even if you're from Fox Chapel, even we speak in terms of Pittsburgh, even if you're from, you know, the north side, the North Hills of Pittsburgh to the north side of Pittsburgh, right. You won't meet the people that you meet at college. Even Slippery Rock, a state school to a school in California to New York. Okay. And so this is a lot, you know.
So you're with the help of you said cousin who was in NFL. Yeah. Helped to shape your network.
I mean,
in your music industry, you being in the music industry.
All he really did was show. He didn't really. I mean, like being in college, like just these people. They're from. I was like one of the only people from Pittsburgh at this school. All these other people are from like the tri-state, like Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia. Okay. So him being out there, he's from Atlanta, but he grew up in McKeesport, and but he just me seeing him making so much money and just doing so much at a young, because he's only 23 whenever I was 18.
Okay.
So me seeing him, he was in the NFL. His name is Maurice Leggett.
Oh,
yeah, you probably.
Leggett's.
Yeah, he's a Leggett. Yep.
Okay.
But just seeing him making so much money and just like showing me so much different stuff. Like I would get off the plane, he'd be like, you know, come on here, I'll hop off a plane, and I buy stuff at the airport before I went to Kansas City, and I just put it on in the airport bathroom. He'd be like, get dressed, you know, there's somebody waiting for you, a woman waiting for you outside of a truck, a Cadillac. And I just hop in, he'd be like, yeah, just hop in as soon as you see her. And I walk up, she's like, are you Maurice's cousin Jose? I'm like, yo, this is me. She's like, get in. And she's like, I'm 18 years old.
Right.
hand me a bottle. I don't want to know. Underage drinking
Right.
wasn't right, but she'll be like, she'll hand me a bottle of something to drink, and then be like, some Gatorade or Powerade, and she'll fill it up with liquor. I'm like, what am I doing? Where am I at? I'm 18 years old.
Right.
And we were like, we go to the club, and we just walk in the side door, with two women, me and him,
Right.
and they got all this, and I'm 18. I'm just like, I go to college, you know what I mean?
Right.
I'm going back to college after this.
Right.
I could do this, that. It's just a lot of different things that show you.
Right.
Him more than anything, he showed me that I'm a person. They're rich. Like it don't matter how much money someone has. They're people just like me. I seen people hurt, like be hurt over certain things, and just have the same type of emotions I have. Like you know what I mean? Like I seen dudes out there playing in the NFL who tore their MCL, ACL, and they thought it was all over for them.
Right.
And me and them hang together every day. Like even though they're in the NFL, we hang together because they can't go to practice. So we talk about when you're down to coming up, and that just taught me a lot. You know what I mean?
Right. Good.
Stuff like that. That was more than anything.
Good. Was there anyone who kind of inspired you to do what you're doing right now, and to keep moving and have that? Because not everybody has the mindset of what you have. So was there one person or a group of people? Sometimes it's a family member, or is it just? And some people are just self-motivated. They just something within themselves that drives them to want to do bigger things.
I have to say probably my grandma, just because, I don't know, like her family, like they're from Hungary, and she's from, like her mom is like from Hungary, and her dad is from Mexico, and like they came here in 1921. She was born in 1937, so like she's on second generation Mexican, and from that, like she went to high school, but she didn't graduate college, and from then on, like she started working at a non-profit organization, and like she was just always about helping other people. Like once she would help certain people, like start to get their life back on track, get their money together, whether they couldn't pay their mortgage, whether they couldn't pay any of their bills, she would help them get it lower, and then she would help them get jobs, and then from that she would like always reach back out to them so they could be like they could plant a seed to help another family.
Right.
So it was always like she would always just keep it going. She always taught me that. So basically my grandmother, she inspired me more than like anybody. She always was on just always about giving, because you was always gonna receive. And even like at a young age, I never understood it, what I'm saying, about like God or anything. I never really understood. I knew like about having a creator, but I never understood about what that meant.
Right.
But just like more and more going along, just seeing her, that's probably one of the biggest people who inspired me, is my grandma. Like I don't really know too many other people like her. She just keeps going. She's like 70. So she was born in 37. She's 78 now.
Okay.
At the age of 70, she looked like she was like 50 years old.
Really?
So I'm like,
that's nice.
yeah, I'm like, okay, if she could keep going, I could do whatever.
So you talked about going to college, and then some of your experiences with hanging out with your cousin and some more famous people. How do you feel that sort of getting out of McKeesport? Because a lot of young people that I talk to, they feel like McKeesport's their whole world. Like they don't know anything else. They haven't had opportunity to travel. How do you think that kind of affected your life, and how not being able to go out kind of affects some of their lives?
I mean, I think with
important?
It's definitely important, for sure. There ain't no question that's important. I think a big thing is whenever you confine to just that, just our area, yeah, it's all it's all you see, because it's like I don't know, it's just like being in a cave, you know what I mean? You're afraid to see what's on the outside of the cave. When you see light, you see it, it exists, but it's like the end of the tunnel type thing. You're in this dark and you don't know what the light at the end of the tunnel looks like. So I think that's just a big thing with people, and it's just that mindset of this world, and that's just what America in general, like a lot of stuff is Americanized. And so if America see it in black and white, they see the world in black and white, like white people.
Right.
So just imagine what McKeesport see it in.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they're Americanized. We all Americanized.
Right.
So you get out a little bit, you get around in the country, you get around certain parts of the country, you might see different you know what I'm saying, different just different cultures and everything. But there's just so much. There's so much too. I feel like sometimes it's not bad to get out of to not get out of your city, because once you become so diversified, you know what I mean. Some people are meant to be in a city to be able to build there. You know what I mean.
Right.
But at the same time, you know, sometimes some people aren't ready for that.
Right.
You know what I mean. So it's just, I think it's just like whatever God got planned for certain people. Because I always think about stuff like that, like why didn't this lady leave? This lady, you see someone in church who's been, and you know what I mean. I see somebody lady in church who's 80 years old, 90 years old, been in her whole life. You're like, why? She's so, you can tell she's a good-hearted person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why haven't you left? You know what I mean? But I'm sure that they probably went different vacations, Vegas,
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Different places, the Bahamas, went everywhere. But some places are just, you know what I mean, for people. So, I don't know. I think that, yeah, like you said, for young people in general, though, to be secluded just to hear is that's like torture. You know what I mean? Because there's so much. We all got potential, and that's what it is. And a lot of people, a lot of our families never laid that blueprint down to want to get out because their families before that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like black society. I don't want to get too deep into it, but black society as a whole just came together, and you know what I mean. Just has been like uplifted in like the 70s. Like
right.
like John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King got shot in the 1960s.
Right.
In the 70s. You know what I mean? Then a little bit of a revolution started to come.
Right.
But the 80s really was whenever stuff started making a turn.
Right.
So like the 80s, 90s, it's only 30 years in.
Right.
So it's just a lot of that. I think it's just like now it's a lot of evolving starting to happen.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you were into music,
Mm-hmm.
making your own music, kind of in that, beginning to get into that music world. And, you know, I'm a few years older, just a few years older, but sometimes when I look at some of the music that John listens to and some of the older people say that the music is a lot different now in this generation than it was back when we were younger. And we kind of feel it's more explicit.
Okay.
Do you think that not only the music, but like social media, reality shows, and all those different types of outlets has any effect on how young people behave now?
I mean, in the same way, not necessarily, because that's like saying, you know, there's just too many metaphors to use with that. That's like saying that anything, when they say guns don't kill people, people kill people, you know?
Right.
That's everything. That's like you or someone, you know, there's just too many ways. I don't think there's anything in the way to point fingers, point blame. I think it all started with parenthood more than anything.
Okay.
You know, that the media outlets and social media and all that just make it more accessible. I feel like if anything, technology is a tool for the new generation because that's how we were taught to make money, to, you know what I mean, for everything.
Right.
You know, there's just so much different change that's occurring rapidly because of technology.
Right.
It's rapidly. There's an app for everything.
Right.
And then imagine if that wasn't possible. Then people how many young people are willing to listen to older people? There's not a lot, you know. So whenever someone could offer something in technology, you know, like technological terms, then it's like, oh, okay, it makes more sense. I think that if you know what I'm saying, if people didn't want like technology and all the stuff, the media outlets to have such an effect on young people, I think that the people that know better should create, you know, like different outlets for young people, because I feel like it ain't all the blame on them, you know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, that's a big thing. It's like people like they want you to change, but they don't want to offer, they don't want to be a part of helping to change. But that's just what it is right now. And I think another thing is there's a lot of people who were from different generations that don't want to see stuff change. And there's young people that don't want to see old-fashioned stuff be like, you know, be here now, be present, because you know, it's a matter of meshing. But the music definitely has an effect on people, because who wouldn't, you know, when you see stuff on TV, money, easy access to make more money, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna do it. But it's just what it is right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like it's just the time to change it. You know,
Right.
And that's why we're all adapting to cell phones. You know what I mean? Different ways to to get stuff out faster. That's
Right.
what we, you know. So I feel like it's a plus, a pro more than a con.
Okay.
But it's like I said, it's parenthood. You know, people. If depending on the situation, if some kids aren't ready to have so much access to social media, if you don't want your 13, 14-year-old daughter being on the internet, you know what I'm saying, making twerk videos, like,
Right.
then instill that in them. You know what I mean?
Right.
If not, then you gotta hold yourself accountable.
Right.
That's just how I feel about it. I don't think it's anything else than that, rather than, you know what I mean? People got their own choices to make.
Right.
So I don't, but I don't like to judge either. So I would never touch on that. I don't want to touch on that subject. So
What do you think is one of the root causes for so much violence, like concentrated in that area? What do you think is going on?
boredom.
Boredom?
Yeah, boredom. That's all. I just think there's just not a lot to do for teenagers, because you know the people who are underage 13, there's a lot to do. You know what I mean? There's way more for them to do. As far as violence above that age, 21, there's not a lot of it. You know what I mean? I feel like anything under like our age, like I'm my age is 23 and under, it doesn't really happen. I think the root of it all is boredom. You know, a lot of people play sports, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people aren't blessed with that talent. Some people might be, but they might not have the determination.
Right.
So it's like some people want to make music, you know, but who knows? And who knows in McKeesport how to give them that outlet? They might have a studio, but they don't have the you know what I'm saying, the direction, I should say, or the building for them, or inside of there, to, you know what I'm saying, to translate from your music to the video, to marketing, to strategic planning,
Right.
to everything that goes along with it. Just even traveling on the road, footwork, you know what I mean? There's so much to it. I think that's a big thing. So I don't really think that I think the violence is really tied into, of course, drugs. You know, people are trying to get money because they want to, for whatever reason, they trying to get money to spend on whatever, I don't know.
Right.
Like, what you need to spend on is beyond me, you know what I mean? Because if you're going to stick around in McKeesport, you're going to buy a nice car out there, you say, like, what violence? Because most of the violence does happen from drugs. So if you rob somebody and kill them, and then you get this money, like, are you going to move? And then what? You know what I mean? You're going to start a new life somewhere,
Right.
and you reap what you sow. So I feel like that's just a big thing. God, you know, like John, like he knows me, you know what I mean? Like, so a big thing with me is, you know what I mean, if you don't got God instilled in you, you're not going to understand what your purpose is. So a lot of it is people running around without purpose. A lot of people running around just living for the moment. They don't know if there's going to be a tomorrow.
Right.
So it's just a lot of scared stuff. Like, I'm going to do this because I'm scared to not have money. I'm scared to not know. You know, people are put into that corner, because even parents be like that. They're not scared to not. So I feel like that's what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Of that root cause, it's like people, it's fear.
Right.
You know what I mean? So hopefully, you know, like people that are trying to make a positive change, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing that, I mean, I want to do, you know, I don't know if you want to ask me more questions about it, but that's one thing, like, you know what I'm saying, I always think about just giving people something to do to occupy their time. And, I mean, I don't know when you're going to be putting this interview on, but in the summertime, I'm actually going to be throwing a basketball league in out Renzi Park. It's going to be like ages 11 to 13, 14 to 16, and 17 and up. So, like, you know, anytime, that's for teenagers. So anytime that they're not busy with football, you know, there's different basketball leagues or workouts. They'll be playing basketball. Hopefully they join in, you know. It's only going to, we try to keep it a minimum fee. You know, there's going to be free food, free everything, DJ, free for the fans to come watch. Just so people can, you know, say, oh, that's something like, something big I really want to do. I definitely want to keep, you know what I'm saying? That's important to teenagers.
Right.
Because it's a transition from, like we said, from high school, from middle school to high school, from high school to college.
Right.
And the more that you can be around and interact with these people, there'll be cops there. You know, the more that you can interact with these people, then they'll know, like, what to do next, you know?
Right.
So that's just a big thing. Right.
Sounds great.
Right.
Sounds very great. And you know, I know a couple people who are wanting to do something positive in McKeesport, but for some reason, you know, like the media and some of the backing that they need to kind of give them that little extra push is not there. So I think a lot of times we kind of have to not bank on somebody else to help us, but like you said, work your own network.
Right.
You know, work your own network, and you never know who knows who.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and every little bit counts. So I think that's something really great to look forward to. What would you tell a young person, say in high school, whatever, who's trying to do what you're doing?
Just focus. You know what I mean? Just like I said before, just keep God first. More than anything, just keep more faith in God than you got in yourself. Because like you always going, you know how many times a person second guess themselves a day. You might about anything. You might be like, "Can I work out today?" You be like, I can't. But you end up doing it though. You know what I mean? So I think that's just the biggest thing. And me personally, I really don't feel like that I've hit a certain point where I can of consistency to where I'm happy. You know what I mean? I'm always trying to work more and more. So I wouldn't even say, I would tell my advice would be to try to be better than anything I've done. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm trying to do.
Right.
Be better. Everybody, they're your own unique person. So I wouldn't tell anybody to try to be like me. I try to be like the person you want to be. You know what I mean? Bigger than anything.
Right.
That's a big thing. Because like I always find myself get caught up in trying to see something and you want to emulate it. Like, oh man, like that person got this and that. I feel like I'm lagging behind, so I'm just running at my own pace. You know what I mean? Like because tomorrow ain't promised. That's my advice. Like run at your own pace, but make sure that you don't get comfortable and just just have that sense of urgency.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's a big thing. So
why the name Legacy Avenue?
Legacy Avenue. Honestly, it's just like a building point from like one of my friends. He told me you gotta lay a cornerstone. That don't have to do with the road. Basically, you gotta lay a cornerstone, and he like one cornerstone, one brick at a time. So he told me this was way before we ever made these shirts. But he's like, you gotta lay one brick at a time, and I'm like, you know what? You're right. I mean, you gotta build your own way. Just like you said, you can't bank on other people to come in and have your back on something. So he's like, you gotta build, like just keep building. I'm like, Legacy Avenue, it's a road, it's a journey, worldwide. And that's like I said, I have been different places. Even if it was like a few months at a time, 3 months at a time, I'm living in so many different places out there in Kansas City with him, in Atlanta. I stayed with some of my fam down in West Virginia, just messing around, different places, even out further, just going out west and seeing different things. And I feel like everywhere I go, that's my Legacy Avenue. Like that's my road I'm building. So what I want to do, what I take from this name right here is, I just want to offer to people to be able to build their own Legacy Avenue, their road, their life, like their life's road, their life journey. And it's like a never-ending road because after you die, it's still your legacy.
Right, exactly.
So it's like your legacy just gonna exist, and that's what I plan on. I want to plan on passing it down generation to generation, whether it's family, however it goes. But just like make sure that the legacy continues. Right. So that's just what it's about. Just a road, just like I said, Legacy Avenue.
I like it.
Thank you.
I like it. Yes. So you started with just T-shirts.
Started with just T-shirts, and we were doing like some like musical artist interviews just with like a lot of people who were coming up in Pittsburgh, because just for now, like I said, once I couldn't make music anymore, I'm like, I still want to help people. I still want to help the people I know. Still like some sort of connection to in Pittsburgh with the music. So why not offer them an outlet? This is what I needed, something like this. Right. So we started with T-shirts, and I helped one of my friends he had like a music project he was putting out. So I was like, I'll get the T-shirts and I'll sell them, and I'll just give you and your whole crew free shirts. Okay. So I'm like, okay, he's like, that's cool. So we did an interview with him. And the next one we did with John, and he interviewed a kid named P. Dolo. So from here on, we were just making the shirts, like you said. We started off with T-shirts and just evolved into different things, sweatshirts, hats, socks. But now we're really getting like cut and sewn, like different things for like manufacturers. Okay. So like we're trying to take it in like another step as far as fashion goes, rather than stuff just printed like trend setting, throughout the world.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Good. So your website, how can people get your gear?
Right now we have a website called www.legacyab.com. Just regular, it's spelled regular legacy and then ave.com. But we are about to revamp the website before the summer. Okay. So I'm not sure there's going to be a new name. So hopefully people just watch out for it. Okay. That's all.
Okay. Good. So you talked about where do you see Legacy Avenue in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, what's 2015 right now? What's today? It's what's today? January. It's January 11th. All right, so 5 years from now, it's 2015. Honestly, if I could show you my calendar, just some different things we had planned for this year, I'm not sure. You know, like I plan. What I honestly plan is every city, every state, about anywhere from 1 to 3 cities, anywhere from 1 to 5 cities in every state. I plan to have Legacy Avenue in at least one store or boutique, you know, in every state in America. You know, in different countries like Paris, France, London, Tokyo, you know, in different places, Japan, China, Germany, Berlin, you know, like play in Germany, you know, Sweden. That's just as far as geography goes, like, you know, states go. But from what we plan on in the business aspect, I just want to be able to employ people, you know what I mean? Just like people that I know, even in my community, rather, you know, it's in McKeesport, Pittsburgh, wherever, I just plan on being able to employ people. That's what I really want to do, you know, at least 100 employees in 5 years from now, hopefully. So that's the big thing with me. But money-wise, like, I don't know, because it's all work to me. I see, you know, I feel like if you plan for the work to happen, the money is gonna come, obviously, you know. So like stores, maybe one store. Like I always wanted to open a store, but you know, I talked to someone. I don't want to give the advice he gave me on camera, but he just told me just to relax and wait, you know. So like, you know, I just wanted to be in every state in America at least. You know, any state that's fashionable that would like it. Right. And besides that, just like we said, like that's a media outlet itself. I wanted to be somewhere where we can be a launching pad for artists. We can help other people evolve, you know, develop, you know, clothing. I hope that, you know, me personally, I can offer like my services, my help to people who were my age that didn't have the guidance, they didn't have the access to different things, because like I had to put a lot of homework in to learn how to do this. You know what I mean? Just even to travel to go places and figure out where the manufacturers are, and to figure out, you know, when to print, and to try to study when to capitalize off of, you know, dates and times that happen like on the calendar. Yes. So it's just like a lot of stuff that goes into it, planning. And then that's just where I really plan on it being, you know, in 5 years. Just like a big help, a blessing to others, because I feel like it's going to be a blessing to me in 5 years. Right. So I plan on it being a blessing to others, you know. Definitely. That's what I really plan on. All right. And so Legacy Ave, what legacy do you want to leave? What legacy do I want to leave? Just honesty and integrity. You know, that's what my grandma always tells me. She's like, you know, and anybody got the honesty and integrity, that's the people that you know, that you rock with. That's the people that you go with. Right. So the legacy I just want to leave is a one where it inspires others to want to leave a positive, a good, you know what I'm saying, a good, like, God-fearing legacy, bigger than anything. I'm a man before a businessman. Right. You know what I mean? So that's what I really want to be. I'm just working on myself. Right. So hopefully that was a legacy that way he worked on himself to get better even until he died, rather than just my business, you know. That's a big thing, you know what I mean? The legacy, this is just one thing. Hopefully, they say an average millionaire got 7 sources of income. Right. So hopefully, you know, I got 7 sources of income to leave behind for people to keep capitalizing on. Right. That's the legacy I want to leave, you know. So family, any plans, you know, 10 years, 20 years for a family? 10 years, 20 years for a family? I don't know. I really don't plan on stuff like that. I don't look for, you know what I'm saying, things to happen. But as far as, you know, if you mean like marital status, marital status, what it's called, I don't, you know what I mean, whatever it's called, 10 to 20 years, I mean, I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like free with it. You know what I mean? 23, right? I'm like 10 years from now, or 5 years from the next 10 years. I don't know. I just plan on helping people. If you know what I mean, if I like a girl or anyone, or however that goes, if I got it, I plan on just being able. It shouldn't even go on camera. Right. I plan on just keeping them around and making sure that, you know what I'm saying, that they achieve what they want to achieve. Right. You know what I'm saying? But I'm so like all over the place. I might want to do that with 5 girls at once. I'm like, yo, I want to help you achieve your dreams. What you want to do? You know what I'm saying? But they all gotta be okay with it. Right. So I don't know about 10 years from now. I don't know. I ain't really got no plans on that. You know what I'm saying? But that's what's fun to me. That's fun to me. This type of stuff.
Okay.
So
Anything else you want to kind of share with, you know, the people watching?
People watching us, this is, like you said, this is from McKeesport. So a big thing, you know, just let it be, you know what I'm saying? So that you represent, you know, for the city, you have to make sure that you always make decisions based on that. Think before you make decisions, because you represent not only yourself, not only your family, but your city. You know, it's just a lot of stuff that goes into that. And if you say you're gonna do something, then claim it. You know what I mean? Be that. Whatever you say you want to do, then do it. You know what I mean? Don't make us look bad. Don't make yourself look bad, first and foremost. And just believe in God, you know what I'm saying? So we can bring the harvest back. Because, you know, stuff might be dry right now, but that's only because we as a city, you know, we're not putting in the work to make the rain come, to make it flood, and make our crops harvest. And that's just a big thing, you know what I mean? But, and also I want to say I appreciate Mr. Lamar for coming through. You know, I appreciate the interview. That's all.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Definitely.